Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
And do you know why today is exciting, Mr. Magazine?
Because it's Saturday?
It is. And you know what we do every Saturday?
Bolos.
You do know. You have been paying attention over the last 3 years. That is awesome sauce.
Actually, today I heard you say Saturday.
Oh, all right. Good point.
So it took 3 years for that.
As we could say, we could still say awesome sauce, right?
Sure, you can.
And speaking of awesome sauce, what is this first item you have up?
All right. I've never seen this before in my life until a customer asked me if the stand comes with it because my listing said comes as shown.
Oh.
I said, no, we actually need the stand, but if I find another one, I'll send it with you. Anyways, it's a Jaguar XKE Vintage Race Day NASCAR Crew Hard Hat, Como Plastics. Not in the best shape, didn't go for a lot of money. I just felt it was like a cool piece. It's a Jaguar. The Jaguar automobile company has an XKE model, so it's from there. I don't know why they have NASCAR in there, unless somewhere it says NASCAR or the flags they thought it was NASCAR. But it looks vintage. Not the best listing, but hard to tell what it really is other than Jaguar helmet.
Comes a showing. I guess the other problem that I have, which
why do they think it's a race day crew? It is a hard hat, but why did NASCAR crew wear it? I don't think so, unless it was it wouldn't be NASCAR, it would be like Formula One or some other that Jaguar's involved in.
Well, the other thing too is which I don't exactly know how you would even measure this, but there are no measurements on it. I mean, I can make the assumption it would fit on somebody's
Most
head,
people,
obviously.
And then you could adjust it with that strap inside.
The strap, but still, I don't know, 8 inches high, 12 inches back brim to brim or something. Somehow.
Yeah, probably, with a little research, it probably could have been a $50 piece because it does look like it's 1960s.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah. That's the word of the day. Next up, New York Yankees button-up jacket by David Pizer, large. It's vintage, and it went for about $35.
Which actually does seem kind of low as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I went through my jackets and stuff because my sizes are going down. I just saw a bunch of stuff that I'm never going to wear, so I gave it to my lister. I said, "Hey, get this out of here." But $40 is $40.
I guess my other question on this: today is Blast Your Listers Day. Can I see the third picture? Oh, okay,
So
that's an error.
Somewhere.
Well, no, my question would be, which I don't think they noted, and they may not know, and I wouldn't even know either unless there's a tag.
Yeah.
What is it made out of?
That's true. That does look like a little vinylish type.
I would think so, and I'm terrible at that kind of stuff. I'm sure there are terms, and I don't know what the term is.
Yeah.
But that would be, you hopefully find the tag and say, hey, it is vinyl and polyester or whatever the mix is. Exactly. Surprised nobody asked on that.
Yeah.
Interesting. But you got $40. And again, these are two things right over here because you don't tend to sell in these.
Right.
The first thing could have been $50, and this could have been a $100 item.
Right. Exactly.
And I happen to know both of those, and I buy them off you, and I can double my money.
Sure.
And that's one of those cases where everything dealer like us and stuff leaves money on the table potentially because we can't possibly know that.
Yeah, and I'm happy getting the 40.
Yes, exactly.
I'd be ecstatic getting 80 or 100, but 40 not knowing how good it could be or whatever, I'm fine with that.
Right. It's not $1,000 piece.
Yeah, $10-$20 seems a little cheap on a vintage Yankees coat, so 40 sounds right in line.
Yep.
All right, don't buy this unless you're a Gretzky fan.
Okay.
This costs $40 new. It's a gigantic statue. It's literally 12 inches or even bigger. The box is gigantic. It costs a lot to ship. And it went for, I think, $20.
And was your shipping enough? $11.85?
Oh, God, probably not unless I went to New York, somewhere East Coast, Northeast or something. But, yeah, they don't go for a lot of money. I mean, I'm sure there's some rare ones. Maybe they made a lot of Gretzky's, but, don't get deceived if you see this out there for $15-$20. Oh, it's probably worth $40 or $50. No. Stay away from it.
Right.
Now, I don't know if they make variants on the big ones, the deluxe ones, but if they have a variant, that might be worth getting for sure.
Right.
Yeah. All right, next up, Black Suit Spider-Man Marvel Secret Wars Vintage 1984 4-inch figure. $40. Not too bad.
No, not at all. Put it this way, you could have that or two of the Gretzky's, essentially.
I would take the Spider-Man. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Word of the week. Next up, Frankenstein, Classic Magazine, February 1977, Boris Karloff, Bride and Son. I took $20 on this one. Had it up for a couple years, so can't argue with that. It's a good looking cover, I think I had it for $35, then it went on sale, so I'm happy with $20. Now, the way eBay is, I kind of got to take some offers at some point, so.
I only have one problem with that.
Okay.
Karloff? Karloff? That's not acting. That's grunting. Karloff?
Oh, I thought we were going to bash the listers. Instead, you bashed our ears. Last up, Spin Out, Lightning McQueen, Disney, Pixar, Cars 3-inch diecast. So this is one of the regular little cars that came in a series. Must be a rare one. It went for $15.99.
$15.99, right.
It's kind of cool. It's a cool looking car. You know.
Just 3-inch diecast. So it's just a regular size diecast?
It's a variation version of the Lightning McQueen. Yep. So
McQueen? McQueen, that's not acting. That's all grunting.
Yeah, you got that right, bro. Okay.
Nice.
And that is it for me. Thank God.
So from now on, every time you've got to bring up every Karloff item you sell.
Right. I can't from now on. I'm going to have him list everything I have.
You're done. 2 poems by H.D. with illustrations by Wesley Tanner, Hilda Doolittle, 1971, limited to 200.
Wow. So
very, very rare piece. Took 4 years to sell. I did get $45 out of it, though. Kind of one of those things that, as Mr. Magazine would say, doesn't look like much. Yeah. But again, to get $45 out of something rather like that, and it's not in the greatest of shape, a little paper damage around the edges. But the flip side of that is there are only 200 of them.
Yeah.
So good luck finding one of the other 199.
I'm sure they're on a tight budget.
That's true.
They probably read the poem and said, we're only making 200 of these. keep our costs down.
Karloff? Star Wars Lightsaber Dueling Pack, West End Games, unopened. Mr. Magazine saw this on the way through, so I brought it up. I'm not even familiar with actually even what this is.
I think it's a gaming for like role-playing. West End Games is role-playing.
Okay, but this is some kind of a pack, so is this like a card game or something?
Yeah, I think it goes with the role-playing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like an expansion pack deck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got $24 out of it. I know I picked up like 3 or 4 of them at a sale, and I sold you one. I don't know if you knew that or not. So you have one in your collection.
Cool. I'm sure I got a deal. I'm sure I didn't get.
You did not pay $24. No, you did not.
Matter of fact, when I was at Disney last week, I met my son. I met Darth Vader. We waited in line 20 minutes.
Nice.
And the first thing I said to him is, "I named my son Luke just like you did." And he goes, "Of course."
That's funny. That's funny. And did he go? And then did he turn to your son and tell him he's your father?
No,
that would have been funny.
Yeah, they wouldn't let. He wasn't there with my other son was there, but they wouldn't let me force choke him. We could only force choke the camera.
That's weird. That would have been funny if he had told your other son that he was his father.
Yeah.
We've gone way off the rails today. John F. Kennedy, JFK, in case you were wondering, and Richard Nixon, Advise and Consent, 8x10 publicity still. Kind of interesting. They're sitting there reading the book. Now, it is an original or very, very early first state or whatever they call it, because you can tell there on the back, as I point at the screen, you all saw that.
Yeah.
On the back, it would have been like a press photo kind of deal, and that would have come off on it, on that.
Yeah, it says United Airlines, too.
There you go. So it's kind of a nice little photo there. I'm happy to get $32 out of it, and much as when you potentially gave away the first 2 items, I may have given this away as well because I don't do photos.
Right.
You know, somebody gets that and they do a little more research on it. They list it a little better. It could be a $100 photo. I don't really know.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm into it right, so I'm happy to get $32 out of it.
And like I said, the way sales are right now, we can't try and hold off for the big bucks if we can get something that's reasonable.
Airbrush Techniques Magazine, October 1985. Garfield the Cat with Jim Davis.
You didn't save this for Carl.
I did not. Carl?
I knew it.
It's all grunting.
I was almost going to say that, but I didn't want to botch it.
It's all grunting. $34. Actually, I took a $25 offer on it, and the guy bought another one as well for about the same price, about $25 also. He ended up buying 2 of them. Not a great title in general, which actually really, really surprised me because I wouldn't think there would be a lot of these out there.
Right.
But I was able to sell this, so pretty happy, and I've got nothing into it per se because I bought a big pile of them from somebody cheap.
If you had the other one, Hairbrush Techniques, Garfield's combing his hair and stuff.
That was a good one.
While he's eating lasagna.
Oh, that's nice. Or lasagna, as Kelly Bundy would say.
Okay, yeah.
Los Angeles Rams program, August 11th, 1956. Fort Ord, Army, Marine, San Diego Navy. I would take the Rams. I don't know how many points they're given to the Army, assuming no weapons.
Wait, the college team is playing a pro team?
No, the Rams are playing Army, Navy, and the Marines.
Yeah, but those are college teams.
Yeah, but not even their teams, just the Camp Pendleton people.
Okay.
So it was an exhibition game of some kind. But I would still take the pro team. I think.
Yes.
Unless they use weapons.
Yeah, I mean, if they got the fearsome foursome, I mean, they're in trouble. I mean, they really. They're going to take them out in body bags.
Well, unless the Fort Orp Army can use a bazooka, in which case my money's on the Army.
True, yeah.
Kind of a very weird thing, and I could not find a lot of information about it as well. I just put it up at $28 plus shipping, and it sold for that. I was happy to have it go for that because I didn't pay very much for it.
Yeah.
But kind of a weird, interesting thing.
Sure. Yeah.
And the other thing is
Kinda
the
like
person.
you.
Thank you. The person that bought it said, "Where was this played at? Nowhere in there does it." I assume the
Really?
Coliseum.
There's
Nowhere in there did it
yeah.
say where. It didn't even go in there and say, "Hey, this great exhibition game. The money's going to charity. Wounded veteran." It doesn't say anything in there. It just literally is like all of a sudden the Army, Navy, Marines showed up to play the Rams for a game.
If it was at the Coliseum, they probably were flying in.
I don't know what was going on. Yeah, it was a weird.
I like to see that happen in today's days before Aaron Donald retired.
Sunday Herald, September 15th, 1891. Teddy Roosevelt Field Hockey and Constance Appleby makes great food. Theodore Roosevelt, the new head of the nation. I took $55 offer on this over here, and the person bought another newspaper as well. Can't argue with that because I'm certain in a pile, I didn't pay very much if it was in a pile of newspapers. I probably paid $1 or $2 for it. Newspapers are fun, but they are a lot of work. As you probably know, I think you have one lister.
That's why we don't list them very often,
Yeah. And finally, I am not often a sucker. I was a sucker. G.C. Murphy's Easter Needs Circular Medina, New York, 1940s Fawcett Captain Marvel shirt. Now, I thought this was really cool.
Wow.
That is really cool down there with the Captain Marvel shirt.
Yeah. It looks like young Sheldon in the upper right.
There you go. Indeed it does. It was one of those days where I didn't have a lot of sales. In fact, I don't think I had any sales, and we were getting a little late not to have any sales. And the person made an offer on it that was like $15, maybe $20, something rather like that, and does have shipping on it. And they said, "Hey, my dad owns the building that this store was in, and I want to buy it to show the customers what used to be here." And I'm like, I think it's worth more than what the guy offered.
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker sometimes, and I haven't had any sales today. And it's always been said.
I get it.
It's always been said, take an offer to kind of jumpstart your sales.
Yeah, well, it's one thing if you paid $12 to $15 and you sold it for $15 to $20. You probably paid $1 or $2.
Yeah, I paid
so you're still making $10 when it's all said and done, probably around there. So
yeah, I paid $1, and if the guy's telling me the truth, then it is going to a good home.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, and that kind of was in the back of my mind as well. I was like, yeah, I guess we'll just move it on out.
I mean, if he's lying, it's going to a bad home, obviously.
Yeah, definitely, and then it'll be abused.
Yeah.
Do hit the like button if you could. We really went off the rails today.
Fun episode.
We really went off the rails today. Hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Happy Easter. Bye-bye.
It's all good hunting.